Let's go over a little background information related to how Congress is set up. So just some general stuff, and this will actually make it a little bit easier maybe for you to keep track of some of the stuff that's going on in the news when you hear it. Um, each term of Congress is considered to be 2 years long. And every Congress since the very beginning has received a number. And the reason why Congress sort of like resets itself potentially every 2 years is because the House of Representatives stands for reelection every 2 years. So you can have kind of like a new Congress. So a single term of Congress as a whole is 2 years. And that's busted up into two what we call 1 year sessions. So again, every Congress is numbered. The current Congress we refer to as the 116th Congress. In November of 2020, not only are we electing a president, but we're also voting for the entire House of Representatives. So, because the House of Representatives stands for election this year, we'll have a new Congress taking over in January 2021. That'll be the 117th Congress. And just like we talked about with the president, the 20th Amendment, which was passed in 1933, also affects the start time of congressional terms. Like the president, Congress has always been elected in November. But it used to be just like the president didn't take over till March. Same thing with the congressman. That was moved up to January when it was moved up for the presidency as well. So you're elected in November, and you take over in January of the next year. A little background information about the demographics of the 116th Congress. You'll notice the Senate is controlled by the Republican Party. They have a six person advantage. You can also see the demographics a little bit. The Senate as a whole is not as diverse as the House of Representatives is, but this is still the most diverse Senate we've ever had in our country's history. These are demographics of the House of Reps. The Democrats have control currently of the House of Representatives in the 116th. That's why we have a divided Congress right now. You have a Senate controlled by the Republicans and a House controlled by the Democrats. Again, this is the most diverse House we've ever had in our country's history. Still not as diverse as the general population is of the United States, but we're making progress. And if you want to take a look at the impact that having a divided Congress has, you don't have to look much further than the number of laws that's actually been passed by Congress. So again, remember, this is like 2 year cycles. So you can see that the 116th Congress, as of August 2020, has only passed 158 laws. Compared to the Congress that came before it, the one that was elected in January of 2017, that Congress passed 443. And then if you go down to some of the older Congresses, this used to be the norm. Like the 101st Congress passed 665 laws in that 2 year time period. The 100th Congress passed 761 laws. You can see the impact that like the parties being divided currently is having on our government. It just can't do much, especially when you have a Senate controlled by one party and a House controlled by another.